So, for those who've been living under a rock, Daredevil Born Again has just ended. Its season finale came out a few days ago by the time you're seeing this. And so, I just want to give my thoughts and opinions and the internet's reaction to it. So, I want to respond to that. So, first, I want to talk about Daredevil Born Again. The finale was solid. The finale was great. I really enjoyed it. I like how they're building up to season 2. In season 2, my issue with Daredevil Born Again is the same issue I have with The Penguin, which The Penguin is an excellent show. Excellent show, peak. But at the same time, you can't help but watch this show without thinking, yo, where is Batman at? I'm watching this season finale. You seeing the lights go out. You know what I mean? Of course, Daredevil didn't notice, but the lights go out. City is under fire and chaos. Police officers are capping people in the street recklessly, reckless abandon. Everything's on fire. There's riots. There's looting. And you sitting there wondering, where is Spider-Man? Homeboy ain't got no job. Where is he been? I need Marvel. I need Marvel and Sony. Sony needs to sell the rights, bro. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of Sony. I'm tired of Sony having Spider-Man. Because every single instance of these movies, where most of them take place in New York City, and you're sitting there and you're like, yo, all this stuff is happening. It is not like it's a global event where you can sit there and say, where are the Avengers? Why hasn't Captain America showed up? Because he's across the country. You know what I mean? Why hasn't Kamala Khan showed up, but she's in LA? You know what I mean? But you can't help but look at this, watch this stuff happening, seeing New York go into chaos and disarray, and not expect Spider-Man to show up. Where is Spider-Man? All these if season 2 don't have the heroes for hire, the defenders, I need all of them to show up. I need Moon Knight, I need Spider-Man. Like, it needs to be Devil's Reign need to be a MCU movie, okay? It needs to be a culminate. If they're doing like, hopefully they do like the Mandalorian route where like there's 2 seasons of Daredevil, 3 seasons of Daredevil, building up to this giant war, and then they cap it off with a movie where Spider-Man can show up. I hope and pray, because if Spider-Man doesn't show up in this storyline at all, I'm looking crazy at people, because it's like, same thing with the Penguin. You're telling me all this stuff is happening, the city is in disarray, and Batman doesn't show up once? Are you serious? I don't care about no little light at the end, man. Where is Spider-Man, yo? Where is he? Where is he? It's so frustrating. These legal rights are getting in the way of a peak storyline that you could do. You could do a street level, and you could do a multiversal, you know what I mean, a timeline spanning story with the Avengers, stuff like that, right? But we need a street level, a giant event that brings in all the street level characters, okay? Of course, you have to rewrite some characters, you know what I mean? Moon Knight needs to be completely redone, because if we're sitting there talking, you can easily write it as like, oh, since Khonshu left, like if they want to do Moon Knight, he has to be like the traditional Moon Knight where like he can't, you know, basically be overpowered and like fight reckless abandon. But like they have to like actually address that, because you can't have Moon Knight being invincible, going through and just like, you know, mowing down an entire army by himself. But you get what I'm saying. Like, this needs to be a dramatic build up to a giant army of heroes versus Wilson Fisk and his cop militia, okay? That's what we need. And so hopefully they're building up to that. Hopefully they have a plan for this, because like if it doesn't lead to that, it will be a giant disappointment, because everyone is watching this and they're literally saying to themselves, where is Spider-Man? They call him my goat, the fraud online, okay? He's on fraud watch, okay? I'm scared, okay? Where is Peter at, bro? Where is Peter? Is his GED that important? If he not in college somewhere out of state, I'm not trying to hear it, bro. Because that man need to show up at least once. You could at least had it where there's a shot of a cop butting a gun down you know, an innocent kid or something like that, and he gets webbed to a building. That's all. You don't have to show him. You don't have to show him. He already gets mentioned. Just have someone web him up. Just say like, yo, he's doing something about it. He's not, you don't physically see him, but he's doing something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what sucks about this, because like, in animation, when they had X-Men 97, where you see heroes reacting to the ramifications of what's going on in the story, it made it so much better, because it's like, they're not the only ones dealing with this stuff, you know what I mean? And in MCU, it's like, if you're watching this certain character, and they're doing this gigantic event, literally no one shows up unless it's like a crossover thing, and it's like, it sucks, because like, it would be nice if, you know, an Avenger showed up and tried to help, or, you know what I mean? And it's like, as a whole for the season was very solid for a Frankenstein season. The season was good. There was only one bad episode with I would say this whole season, which was probably the Muse episode, with episode I think it was 7. That was the only letdown episode where it was mediocre, not as good as I expected it to be. But people were saying this is the worst thing ever, or someone tweeted out, "Oh my God, what have Marvel done to Daredevil?" This is what brought up the whole thing of they're gonna lie to you about Daredevil Born Again. Okay, they are lying to you. The overreaction of this is the worst thing ever is a point blank lie. This show is very solid for what it is. Okay, it's actually pretty good. And I'm going on a limb, and I'm not going on a limb. This is way better than Daredevil season 2. Outside of the first 4 episodes, mind you, Netflix Daredevil was 13 episodes, okay? Outside of the first 4 episodes of Daredevil season 2, the rest of the season was mediocre to trash. Let's be honest here. I know people love to say that Netflix Daredevil could do no wrong. That whole plot with the hand was garbage. It was so boring. It dragged. It was like, no. We're not gonna sit here and try to, have a rose tinted glasses towards season 2 of Daredevil. Outside of the Punisher stuff, which was only 4 episodes, I guess you could say 5 with the finale. 4 to 5 episodes out of 13. The rest of the season was pretty much trash. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna sit there and say that. Like, it's not trash where it's Iron Fist, but it's below Daredevil Born Again. And it's like, even the weaker episodes of Daredevil Born Again, like the Banks episode, even like if you didn't like the court case from episode, I think it was 3, or if you didn't like, stuff like that, it was a very solid, it was enjoyable, it kept you entertained. There were legit episodes of Daredevil season 2, and I watched it recently to prepare for Daredevil Born Again, where it was legit boring. I was like, okay. Especially stuff with the Elektra stuff, like the hand stuff, it was like, okay, we get it here. It's like, this is just boring and underwhelming, you know what I mean? And so people are going to go online and say this is the worst thing ever because Disney made it, and oh my God, Daredevil Born Again is so trash, and they're just going to sit there and lie to you. They're going to lie to you, and I just want to let y'all know, I want to tell my audience that do not let these lies, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. This season for itself, for what it did, in order to save it, I put it in the same tier as Wakanda Forever, where they had such a weird circumstance they had to circumvent. The fact that they came out this good is actually very solid. That's why it's so good. Like, I could sit here and watch the entire season and enjoy the story they went through. The only plot line I didn't really like was the Wilson Fisk Adam thing, but it worked well because it paired up with Matthew Murdock becoming Daredevil again. And so the only thing that really sucked about this season in total that I really didn't like, other than the Muse episode, because it felt like a giant letdown, was the new addition characters that was obviously from the show before it was rewritten and stuff like that. Sherry, Heather, Detective Kim, or whatever her name is, but Detective Kim was more like a minor character, like you needed a cop character, whatever. Sherry, whatever his name is, and Heather, both of them need to go next season because I don't care for either one of them. And it's weird because these characters, the way they were written and talking, is like they always been here. You know what I mean? Like they've been here since season 1 of Daredevil. It's like everyone's like, bro, who are you? Talking to Matt like, are you really gonna destroy your life, brother? He known you for 2 months. Get the fuck out my face. Like, who are you, bro? Oh, I'm not gonna watch you as you burn your life apart. Also, his lawyer partner or whatever. I don't know who her name is. I don't care. Like, these 3 characters are irrelevant. I don't care about none of these characters. So, like, if they get, like, blipped off the map or whatever, especially Heather, because she was kind of annoying. Like, from episode 7 to 8, I understood her character where it's like, okay, you're trying to help your boyfriend. He's being weird. He's acting strange. He's ended up being more and more injured. Something's going on here. To immediately going to like, she has like no patience with him. Is like refusing to understand his point of view. And it's like, if you do any sort of research, you know that Fisk and Matt Murdock have come to blows numerous times legally. Why are you confused about why he doesn't like him? That's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're marrying a cop and then you get upset when he tells you like, oh, don't work for this guy. He used to be a drug lord. Like, it's like, wait, I've arrested him numerous times. Do not go work. Do not believe what he says. And you're like, well, I don't believe it because, it's like, bro, what are we doing here? It's like, bro, at any point, and he's like, it's just treating him like he's paranoid. And it's like, I get the whole thing where like he's trying to hide him being Daredevil. It's like, why you have all these marks and bruises? Why are you gone in the middle of the night? This and that. That's understandable. But when he brings up how like Kingpin is manipulating people, and all the stuff she can clearly research because it happened. It was been revealed. He's been arrested. You can look this stuff up. The stuff that Wilson Fisk has done, even though he was acquitted or not, he was involved with some of these things. You have to sit there and say, wow, maybe I should distance myself from this person who could potentially be dangerous. No, let me just walk in there and be the head of his mental health division or whatever. It's like, are you serious, bro? Like, she need to go. Like, it was annoying. The one thing I want to predict, I don't want to know if I can predict this, but like one thing I do want to predict is I believe Bullseye will be an ally in season 2. Not like an ally in terms of, oh, they're going to be like buddy with Matthew Murdock. No way, absolutely not. Also, I think Foggy will still be alive. I'm on the boat. Anyway, I feel like at the end of Daredevil Born Again, when he was like fixing the apartment and he looked like he was like regret or whatever, how he's like a very messed up character. I feel like they're going to have it where they might be unlikely allies for a little bit, and it might go to a boiling point like Matt and Frank, where it's like he's just gonna try to kill Wilson Fisk, you know what I mean, which will lead to blows and them becoming enemies again. But I feel like a little bit there might be an episode where they team up for some reason, you know what I mean, while try to rescue. I mean, Frank Castle might get out of jail by then, you know what I mean, that might be what his special is about. But like try to get these escapees out of prison, he might have them do that, you know what I mean. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all like Daredevil Born Again? Did y'all like who do you think is gonna show up in season 2? I think if I had to put money on it, I think all the Defenders are going to show up, especially Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, because they've been hinting at it for like the past few months now of like, oh, I've been working out, or if they ever need me, I'm there, or, you know, they all still talk and stuff like that. So I think this is going to happen. I really think that's going to happen. But those are my thoughts. I'm out. Peace.